Hi, this is Steve Rybrook from Ledgeview Partners. This video is about the data integration feature with our CRM for oil and gas. Our CRM for oil and gas is powered by Microsoft Dynamics 365. This data integration that we talk about is really just a way of getting data from your accounting system into CRM automatically. So a couple advantages to doing that. Number one, there's not a lot of duplicate entry or duplicate work because the system takes care of integrating the data. And then the second, probably just as important issue is I would consider it one version of the truth. So the truth is in your accounting system, whether it's right or not. Hopefully it is right. But if we just replicate the data from your accounting system into CRM, they match. And so people aren't questioning, well, it says this in one system, it says this in another, which one do I trust? So I'm a big believer in one version of the truth and efficiency. Before I jump into the details of this, just a little background about Ledgeview Partners. We are a business and consulting company, and we partner with organizations to help transform sales, marketing, customer service operations and processes, and all of that is supported by a few core technologies, including customer relationship management, CRM, and marketing automation. And for today's discussion, we're focusing on the part of our business related to this CRM product we created on top of Microsoft Dynamics 365 for the oil and gas industry. All right. So just a little bit of background before I jump into the list of files here. But just to give you the basic concept here is when we work with you on getting your CRM up and running, there's a one-time data migration, if you will, where we get all the data loaded. And then every night, we also run a process to pull the data out of your accounting system and get it into CRM. So I just want to just quickly show you just graphically kind of what I'm talking about here. So in your accounting system, there's hopefully maybe a job that can be scheduled to run, let's just say as an example, at 10 o'clock. And that job would pull data out of that system and build what we call CSV files. And then they take them files, and again, this can be all automated, and take those files and put them up onto an FTP site. And then let's say an hour later, and this could be any time, so let's say at 11 o'clock, we then would reach up to this FTP site and grab those files and process them into CRM. So really, when we talk about data integration, there's a lot of different ways to do that. We don't reach into your accounting system from CRM and grab that. It's kind of this two-step process. You send us the data, we'll dump it into CRM. And both of these steps are automated where we all go to bed and computers are talking to computers at night. So I just wanted to show you that. Let's see, just talking about the files, the data that you might find helpful to your CRM users. Some that are real important are the top three here. We need to know your customers, your accounts, the products that you sell, and information about those products. And then order history, which you can think of that as your invoice data. Those are critical to our system. Optionally, you can also send over, if your accounting system, there are important notes tied to your customers or your accounts, we can bring that over. If you have some generic price list, you might have a retail price list, a wholesale price list, you might have 3 or 4 different really kind of high-level price lists, we can bring them over. And then if you actually tie special pricing to any of the products that a customer buys, so this is down to the account product level, what are the prices? If this customer bought this product today, what would they pay? We can, if your accounting system has that data, which I think it does, we can get that data into CRM. And then if you also care about how much you have on hand of each of your products, we can bring over your product balances. Okay, so that's that. So how does this work? I just want to kind of show you, it's easier to talk to folks in terms of a spreadsheet. So one of the files that we talked about was your account file. So whoever is going to build these files might have to be a little bit techie, but ultimately it turns into a CSV file, which does look kind of like an Excel spreadsheet, but behind the scenes, it's just a lot of data separated by commas. So when we kick off your project, we actually work with you, and we probably go through this, and we take like 2, 3, 4 hours and go through every field and every file. But if you think about your customer file, think about building a file that has their name, their phone number, if they maybe have a secondary phone number, if they have a fax number associated with them, what's their account number? If it's like a ship to location, is it tied to like a parent account? Who's the owner or the salesperson on the account? And we just go through every one of these columns, and we just find out if you have that data in your accounting system, and then how to plot it in this CSV file. And we do that for all the files. So like, here's the product file. Here's the order history file. And that's just an easy way to get people to kind of visualize it. But if I go over to the very first tab on this spreadsheet, we actually define, every column, basically every field we need, and then what the rules are associated with it. So again, it takes a few hours to kind of go through every one of these fields, every one of these files. And then whether you work with your accounting vendor or you have an IT department, we work very closely with them to help them pull the data out, getting into the CSV files. And then we just dump them into CRM. So I thought I'd just kind of wrap up by showing you where some of this shows up in CRM. So let's just flip over to CRM here, and I'm just going to pull up an account. A lot of these accounts probably came from my accounting system. So I think I was playing with Fairview Manufacturing a minute ago. So this is an account that would have been tied to your back office, to your accounting system. So there's an account number, and all these fields we actually lock because we don't want you changing them. Remember that one version of the truth? I want your accounting system to be the Bible, and that's just feeding CRM. So if if they're not at this post office box 123 anymore, change that in the accounting system, and the next day it'll change here. So one-time load, and then just this nightly process to keep things synchronized. All right, so there's an account. What else could we have brought over from an accounting system? We talked about order history. So all the different times this customer bought from me. Things like when they bought it, probably like an invoice number, what product they bought, how much did they pay, how much did they buy, how much revenue and gross profit did it produce? All that right from your accounting system. What else might we care about Fairview Manufacturing? If they were going to buy from me today, what products are set up in the accounting system with special pricing? So these are all the different products set up for Fairview Manufacturing, and the price they'd pay. These are obviously just test data. The price they would pay if they bought that product today. So that's real simple. Right at your fingertips. Let's talk about products just for a minute. So all of these products that are listed here would have come from your accounting system. If you want to find out a little bit more about a specific product, I could search for one here. I'll just search for like this 100P Advantage. So if I open that up, basic information about the product, nothing fancy here. But if I want to see how much we had on hand, I could go to say, hey, show me the balances of that product. And it's by warehouse. If you have more than one location, that's fine. So these are like our locations, how much we have at each location, how much we have on hand, how much is on order from a supplier, how much does the customer have on order, how much does the customers have on back order, so how much is committed and what's available. All of these numbers are optional. If your accounting system doesn't have this type of sophistication, that's fine. Just send over what's on hand. Just send over what you consider being available. You can send over whatever data you have, and we'll populate it in here. All right, so data integration sounds scary. A lot of people have a big concern about that. We tried to make it simple. It's still a little bit of work. We got to go through and figure out where this information is in your accounting system. Somebody's got to turn that data into these CSV files, and then the rest is completely automated. So a little bit of work up front, and then we're done, and your CRM users will be able to reap the benefit of that. All right, so let's just kind of wrap up here on the PowerPoint. I just want to introduce you to Jean. She's the account manager for our CRM for oil and gas. So if you have any questions on what I just showed, you want to take a deeper dive into all the other things that our CRM for oil and gas has, or if you have any questions about Ledgeview, just reach out to Jean. There's her phone number and email address. She'll be glad to help you. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.